You ain't been paying attention.
All right. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Monday night. As you can see, Anthony took his off, but I have my protective headgear on, and Anthony's got his protective eyewear on.
And I got my X-ray spectacles on so I can see.
Well, you know what? I have a sad feeling that there's going to be some BS spreading here tonight, so I'm just going to go ahead and put my mask on now.
Oh, he's got to put his mask on, everybody. How is everybody tonight? Uh-oh. Watch out. You're going to get blinded. Oh! All right.
My cat's looking at me like I'm crazy.
All right, you guys. Hold on. This isn't going the right way here. There we go. All right, we're going to start off with gloves. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Gill for the gloves. I'm going to bring the picture up here for him. He's going to talk about it.
Okay. So when I started thinking about this, I'd already had some stuff set aside for when I was for doing the community emergency response team training stuff. And as far as the number and types of gloves, how many different types of tennis shoes are there? All sorts of stuff. But so on gloves, as you can see here, you got cotton gloves, you got thick leather gloves, you got soft leather gloves,
latex gloves.
You got the nitrile gloves. Where were they? They were up above. Nitrile gloves right up here. You got wool gloves, combination gloves, both of rubber and cotton. And then you have your I don't see the standard ones here. I thought I had them up here. Your standard gauntlet gloves, with the leather palms and the cotton backing and the big, gauntlets on the side of it. Got those type gloves. Your regular, where is it here? Then you got your heavy duty rubber chemical gloves. And then there are insulated gloves. You got some down here that are kind of insulated and stuff, and other ones over here that are insulated on the bottom here. And then you have, back up, welding gloves. So there's all sorts of types of gloves for whatever the job is. But remember, each job requires a certain type of glove. Just like you don't use a 8-pound sledgehammer to put in a little nail to hang a picture, nor do you use a little framing hammer to try to drive a steel post into the ground. Gloves have specific jobs. You wouldn't wear nitrile gloves to do welding, just as you wouldn't wear leather gloves to do the dishes.
Well, you never know.
Yeah, no.
If it's coarse enough leather, it'll help you scrub the dishes.
Yeah. But as far as your gloves and stuff go, you have to figure out what the job is, which ones you need. Like right now, I don't have any need for chemical gloves. I have some nitrile gloves for light stuff, like for if I have to do some Drano or whatever or something like that. But I'm talking about the ones that come up to past my elbow that are like 20 mil thick rubber gloves that you can hardly move your hands in, that I used to use when I was working hazmat. That's a different type of glove. I'm not working hazmat. I ain't going to wear it. If I see hazmat, it's called about face, and try to keep up with me.
And so it's pretty important that you use the right glove for the right application.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with that new virus going out there. Make sure that you're buying the right kind of nitrile or latex gloves.
Yeah. And the thing is also to remember with latex gloves, for some reason, there are a lot more people developing allergies to latex. That's why all the hospitals have switched to the, let's get over here on this one here again, the nitrile, which is these nice blue ones here. But they also come in purple, black, green, pink, all sorts of colors. but the blue is the standard ones. You can get these at Harbor Freight, Sam's. I like the ones from Sam's Club. They're a little bit thicker than the ones at Harbor Freight and hold up a little bit better. But these here are pictures here. The 6 mil. That's the thickness you need that law enforcement uses because of all the friggin' the oxycodone crap that's out there. This will protect their hands from it, where the 2 or the 3 mil won't, or even the 4 mil won't.
Yes, nitro is the best, Corey.
Yeah, for that, and there, when I was working construction, I would wear the nitro gloves underneath my work. Is these the right ones? Yeah, those under those work gloves, because just in case chemicals got on the gloves and soaked through, my hands would be protected. But the most of the time, the only thing I spilled on it was diesel. But this would protect my hands from all the stuff I have to be working on the heavy equipment and stuff.
That's
So
what I would do with my welding gloves. I'd have a pair of rubber gloves on underneath them to keep all the oil off the pipes or whatever that you're working with. Keep them off your hands.
And one of the things that also, some of the mechanics, they would wear these cotton ones, and then the nitrols over the cotton ones. That keeps their hands dry and from sweating. And then they would wear their the work gloves over that.
That's too many pairs of gloves. I wouldn't be able to tell what I was doing.
There's and when I was working hazmat, I would have the nitrile gloves. Then I'd have the next level up of rubber gloves, and I go to the other ones, and I'd have like these here, and wind up finally with these ugly things on. So yeah, there's a lot of there are times where gloves can be layered and paired to help the whole situation work better.
Well, when I drove cement truck, do you know what they used to clean off the outside of the cement trucks? Hydrochloric acid.
Yeah.
Company's standard policy was to wear rubber gloves, face shield, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's like those gloves.
I just washed the damn truck with it.
That's like those gloves that go like up
never bothered me a bit.
your arm like that. Those big high gloves that like you use at home for bleach and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was working for a construction company, they would have the guys that were cleaning the equipment off. They put TSP, trisodium phosphate, into the steam cleaner to get all the grease and stuff off the equipment when they were going, like if they're going to repaint the equipment. So they would just use that stuff to clean the equipment good, and they required you to wear a Tyvek suit with a full face respirator and the whole glove setup and the knee-high rubber boots.
Let's see if I can pull that one up for us while we're talking about it.
Yeah, there's a. But as far we're not talking here the end of the world as we know it or stuff like. We're talking about everyday use and whatever you're going to need in the end of the world. So there's a lot of stuff in daily use that you need to have stuff for to protect yourself. Most people don't think about it, and most people wind up getting slivers or cut with glass or whatever it is because they don't have the right stuff on. Oh yeah, I remember those.
There we go.
Yeah.
You can see they run anywhere from $9 all the way up. Some of them are $150, $200 suits, but
I don't think anybody here is going to need the $1,000 aluminum foil suit.
No, I would say it was like the $10 one, because you can still get your respirator on. That's that first one right there. That's a $10 suit right there. You can get the suit on. You can get the little footy things that go with it probably for a couple of bucks. That'll go over your shoes, and then your respirator would go over the front. You can use that tie string to tie everything down. You're like a bug in a rug,
Not quite. The bug in a rug is 4 down.
See if I get
I saw that, the bug in a rug.
Yeah, I've seen it too. I just wasn't going to say nothing because it's got a pretty penny attached to it.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
One more.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. That guy right there.
And the gray one there with the full face bubble on it.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Yep.
It's only
Those are like
$170.
$170. Yeah, that's really not too bad a price.
Yeah, but you're wearing one of the other ones, and then you put that one on.
Yep.
Yeah, been there, did that. Don't want to do it again.
You can see this one right here. I'm not up there with you guys, but right next to this one here where my cursor
Yeah.
is, that's really nice full face ones.
Sandblasting.
Yep.
Yep.
Nice thing about that is you can hook a respirator unit up to it.
See right there, they got a bundle of them right there, a whole bundle of them. They're probably that's for $16. You get 3 of them.
Yeah, those are
Painters
painters coveralls, and that's something else. Painters. Yeah, you want to keep your clothes clean. They've got those nice, cheap disposable painter coveralls.
There you go. There's one for Will. Go back up a little bit, and it'll be on.
That
the
yellow
right.
one there is for chemicals.
Go back up one. Right there.
There you go.
Far right.
Back
Yep,
down
right
a little
there.
bit. Down a little. There we go. Far right. There you go, Will.
Oh yeah. Woohoo!
We'd be able to find you.
That's for sure.
Start shining flashlights, you'd shine right back at us.
I put my other cap on with it.
Real man.
So you can see, you can get you a suit, gloves, all that stuff pretty cheap. You be out there with your tin cap on. Just get rid of that. There we
Yes,
go.
Lori, you can use duct tape to seal them up.
Yeah,
on the
that's what you
arm
do. Is you get everything on. Use duct tape to seal everything up.
Yep.
Except around your neck, of course.
Oh, come on. I'm sure we all have somebody would like to walk up and say, "Come here."
Well, actually,
saying,
in hazmat, they do duct tape around the face to the Tyvek to the mask.
Yep.
And the boots. That's
All right.
gas master.
All right. So we've talked.
Yeah, Westwood's got a point there, though. If you have to live in that suit for any period of time,
There they
you're going to be on
are.
a very fast crash diet. You are going to sweat profusely in a hot environment.
Yeah.
You are it's going to feel like hell came in and moved in with you.
Usually, when I was working hazmat, I had to wear those suits. We had a vest that we would those the little water bottles. We would have 8 on each side on our vests inside the big bubble suit, because it was so hard to take that big bubble suit off. We just pull our arm back inside, pop a bottle, drink it, put our arm back out into the outer suit, so we keep going. Oh,
So you'd use all those rubber boots there probably for your hazmat suit. You wouldn't want to leave. You wouldn't want to have the small ankle type ones.
actually, you'd have the mid calf or knee high ones, but you also have the ones that look a little bit more stout than those. More like the one on the almost on the bottom row, the yellow one on that bottom row over there looks a little bit heavier duty. But
Right over here.
no, on the left, next row down on the left, or down. The yellow one.
Over
This
2.
one?
Up,
Yeah,
right
there you go. That one looks a little more heavier duty.
It looks like a barn boot. Yep.
Well, that's one type of boot I don't see on there, Will.
I'm looking for a different one there.
Snake boot.
Cowboy boot.
I don't see them either.
Yeah.
That one there's sort of like one, that white one.
Yeah. But and when you come to your boots and shoes and stuff, you look at us. If are you working in the mud, or are you out playing basketball? Do you have the right shoe to be playing basketball, folks? You don't want to be.
It depends on the environment where you're working.
Yeah. You don't want to be playing basketball in these things.
When I worked on the farm, I used the high what they call a barn boot.
Yeah.
Went all the way up to your knee, and then the sole was like an inch thick.
Yeah.
So you're not in that manure and stuff.
Gil, there is
Yeah.
an option. There is a time and a place to play basketball in them boots.
Oops.
Here's a basketball, kick somebody's butt.
Yeah. Or if you're over in the sandbox. But yeah, as far as before, most people, yeah, they're not going to be out there playing in work boots and playing basketball. They're going to be using tennis shoes, running shoes, something that's more built for that. Just as like most people aren't going to go running a marathon in cowboy boots. Neither are they going to take those shoes that they would wear for a marathon and go ride a horse.
You got anything for these kind of things? Eyewear?
I got 3 classifications.
Okay, I'm going to answer a question here real quick.
I got my eyewear on.
What's that, Dave?
Old School Prepper made a comment referring to Lori's comment. Yes, if it doesn't absorb moisture, if you like rubber boots, it is like, I think it's 6 drops of bleach to a gallon of water to decontaminate. I could be wrong on the amount of bleach.
Yeah, it depends on what the chemical is. The contaminant is. Some contaminants, they once you slip out of them, they go into a big bag and they go in the trash and they go in the incinerator. But that's not the type of stuff any of us are going to be dealing with. Like I said, that's hazmat. If I see that anymore, I'm turning around and you guys try to keep up as I go trucking the other way.
What do you got to add in there, Anthony?
I'm going to throw a stick at your feet and trip you up.
Let Anthony talk.
Okay, what I have for glasses, I got 3 different types of glasses. I got reading glasses. I got sunglasses like these guys on the side here, Will and Anthony have. And then safety glasses are a whole bunch.
Safety glasses here.
Those are more than just sunglasses. Those are safety too.
They're actually shooting glasses.
Okay, that's one of the ones I was going to mention was shooting. But you got your regular ones for working around dusk. There's those big old goggle ones, that I can wear over these. There's your welding ones, the ones you'd use for grinding, which you wouldn't use the regular cheap plastic ones because the grinding would embed in the plastic lens and obscure your vision. Shooting glasses. What else is there, Anthony? What else am I forgetting?
What, for glasses?
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 different styles of ballistic glasses. You want ones that are going to catch stuff and not shatter. So say you are shooting and then something like a frag comes out, you want to make sure that it's going to be held in place like the polycarbonate style. And then you have the other ones that are going to be like force on your face. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. Like something large comes at you, they're framed better for your face. So that's more in construction. Usually you can get away with a polycarbonate for the most part, but when it comes to safety glasses, shooting glasses is about all you're really going to need. Just make sure that you're not tinting. The tint on the glasses doesn't hinder you from something. With ours, we have the blue ones, and you can't tell colors of fluids. So say if you're on an aircraft, you can't tell the colors of fluids. And that comment right there, one thing with steel toe boots they told us in the military was they make you wear steel toe. That way, if something heavy does fall on your foot, it slices your toes off clean. That way they can be reattached.
I've seen it happen. It's a true fact.
Wow.
I've seen it happen.
That's why they wanted us to wear steel toes, because they wanted to make sure that if something heavy did fall on our foot, that our toes could be reattached versus just being crushed.
Yeah, I was roughnecking, and we were coming out of the hole, and the elevators, or what do you want to call it, that holds the pipe up, opened up, and it dropped that whole drill stand down on the guy's foot. And the only thing that saved his toes was he had steel-toed boots on that cut him clean off. And we took him and the boot to the hospital, and they sewed him back on.
Yeah.
The one of the guys I was working construction with, he had steel mill boots. Steel mill boots, the steel toe that's built in there is 3 times as thick as normal steel toes. Okay, and then they have going up your arch of your foot, they got a steel plate inside of a
Shingle.
leather shim that goes up there. That way, it deflects it off the top of your arch of your foot.
Well, there's a reason why the military does that, and he brings up a valid point. But it's an easy way to illustrate it. Okay, you're standing next to a tank, and some dumb jerk decides to start driving off on the tank while you're fixing the track. Would you rather have your foot completely crushed or just missing your toes for a couple hours?
I mean, I used to work with aircraft and a whole bunch of really heavy tools that would fall down, and definitely, I mean, I broke my foot that way. It hit the steel toe, but it hit the top of my foot too, and broke the top of my foot. Steel toe saved my toes, but it's meant. That's when I got told from the doc that's what steel toes are meant for. That's why I don't have like steel shoes. It's just meant to be able to reattach your toes.
Yeah.
Commander plugs. Yeah, Commander plugs. I love those tennis shoes that have steel toes in them. I had them for work. They have pretty cool stuff.
They have composite toes now, so it doesn't just have to be steel. That way, it doesn't have that extra weight to mess with you. The composite toes.
If I'm gonna do it, I want shoes made at AR 500. That's AR 500 to me good.
Yeah, that's what the linemen are using, Anthony. Now they've gotten rid of their steel toes for the guys working on the power lines.
Yeah,
a little bit less to conduct electricity.
Well, I mean, every little bit, especially if your boots are worn, you don't want to have that grounding, especially something so close. I mean, it totally makes sense. And same thing if you work with like high voltage, not necessarily like on power lines, but I mean, working on
welding
220, 220. I mean, being a welder, whatever, it could work the same way from the bottom of the floor up. So like say standing in water, same principle.
One other thing on glasses I forgot, and I just remembered. That was Dr. Bones was mentioned too when he's talking about something was face shield.
Well, don't forget about the goggles, because when I'm working on aircraft and Westwind can attest to what I was talking about the glasses. Most of the time they give you the goggles that go around your face, like where they'll spread out the weight. And when you're on the flight line, they don't let you just wear safety glasses. You have to wear goggles. Yeah. Like, no doubt about it.
Yeah. And then, like Dr. Bones is saying, he wears the safety ones, those rubber, soft-sided rubber ones, and then a face shield in front of it.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get 2 layers of protection, even better, and especially if you're messing with something hazardous that can splash. Having something, that big buffer, say you're melting, like you're casting metals or something, and you get a cold crucible and that copper explodes the crucible. You want to make sure you have that.
As many layers as possible. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. There's the goggles right there.
Yeah. Okay. I just noticed Steve is out there.
Hey, Mr. Corsair, how are you this evening, sir? I see Wayne's out there. Oh, check the thing. Lori's been taking care of the hellos. I've been watching a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, your eyes are probably the most important things you have on your body. Yeah, you lose a finger. It's not it's not as bad as if you lose an eye, you're down 50%. You lose 2 eyes, you're screwed.
Yeah, and you want to also make sure that you're wearing the proper PPE for whatever job you're doing. So say, you're wearing safety glasses, and that's cool and all, but if you're grinding and sparks are flying everywhere, having a face shield is a little bit better, because I've actually had it, and like legit had it where a spark just so happened to, they got 1 in a million shot, hit my hat and came down into my glasses and got my eye.
That happened, yep.
So, and I was wearing safety glasses, and that's the worst part. I'm at the ER, and the doctor's like, "Why don't you wear safety glasses?" I'm like, "I was." They're like, "No, you weren't." I was like, "Okay," but certain things like that, if you can avoid it by having the proper PPE, you're good. And I used to always talk crap about safety glasses, but not anymore.
Murphy's Law, even on a full face shield, Murphy's Law, sometimes those sparks are flying around at such an angle they'll even come in the side.
Yeah,
It's kind of like whenever it's like when you're wearing like gloves. I remember I was working on cars long enough where I would be always wearing nitrile gloves. Well, I remember I was working with a fuel tank and I had fuel go underneath the glove and sit in my hands, and I'm sitting there sweating, and next thing you know, my hands start burning, and the gloves actually made it worse. So always got to watch your stuff.
Yeah. The with the face shields and the safety goggles and stuff, it's like for me now, I have to get the safety goggles that go over my glasses, and then I'll get a face. If I'm grinding, I put a face shield on it because sparks do bounce every which way, and even with the face shield and the goggles, because the goggles have those little vent holes in them, I've had stuff bounce in the side of those vent holes when I've been grinding.
Tibor says that's why machinist hats don't or covers don't have rims.
Yeah, that's why Steve always talks crap because I wear my cover wrong. But I get into a habit of whenever I was, say, welding or grinding a lot of stuff, I would just turn my hat backwards just to avoid having that happen again. Because once it happened one time, I mean, you got to be conscious about every single time after that.
Yeah, well, welders' hats do have a brim on them, but they're only half the brim on it. And that's so when it's on the back, it sits down and covers the back of the neck here.
Covers your neck, yep.
Yeah, that way anything that does goes over the top, it hits that and bounces off before it goes down your shirt.
Yep. Don't always catch it though.
Yeah, well, that's why whenever I'm welding, it's uptight.
Well, that brings up another thing you want to make sure you have. I know it sounds kind of whatever to some people, but if you work around a lot of power tools, it definitely pays off, and that's a leather apron. So definitely, if you have the opportunity, if you're working around a lot of tools, a lot of sparks, a lot of even drilling, having a leather apron will really pay off.
Well, welders also have it's I can't think what it's called now. Basically, it's sleeves, a piece that goes across the shoulder, and sleeves on the other side. And so basically, it protects and it only comes down just a little bit, and it's just like put them on there. And then that protects your arms and everything from welding sparks and slag pops.
I hate it when I go down your boot too, Wayne. One time I was welding with an 1/8 inch flux core wire, and a piece of melting slag dropped right down off the metal and dropped right on top of my boot and burned through the boot. I couldn't get that boot off. It wouldn't come off. I couldn't get it untied because I was in pain. By the time I got that thing up my boot off, I had this giant burn on the top of my foot.
Hey, just put it up so you can share it, Will.
Yeah, and Texan brings up a good point. You want to make sure you don't wear loose fitting clothes around moving like grinders.
Yeah, that's the baby.
Yep,
there's half sleeves. They're called half sleeves. Yep.
Yeah, and then you wear the you put the apron on first, and that goes on over it because the apron has it has the ties that go up under, so you have that underneath the that way anything hits that and then bounces over because the apron's up underneath it.
That's the way it's supposed to work anyway.
Yeah.
Don't always work out the way it's supposed to.
Of course,
there's a lot of times where I was working with a torch above me and burning stuff off, and it'll shoot down everywhere it can. It's
Hey, Will, throw this one up.
Some sort of chemical to catch fire. It'll definitely shoot whatever.
Yeah. This is a more expensive type welding helmet. It's a soft leather helmet, but it keeps it goes down. It keeps anything. If you're cutting overhead, this keeps the stuff from getting into your shirt and into your clothes and stuff.
Man, that's more of a TIG hood.
Yeah. But there's all sorts of different leather gear sets here. Got complete sets here. But helmets.
One thing I wanted to mention before while we're talking about welding and whatnot, and grinding, make sure you take off your rings.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a ring welded into my finger right here.
Yeah, Will, and I've seen it before. That's why I say that. Take off your rings.
I've known it for 30 years. I know everything there is. about anything that can go wrong.
Yeah. So I mean, this is just showing here some of the gear: hearing protection, goggles, face shield, welding shield, all the different types of gloves, boots. Yeah.
The toys cost more than anything.
Yeah.
I always wore the bib, and then I wore a full coat over the top of everything.
Yeah. So if you're going to be doing welding a lot, it's worth it to invest in the leather gear.
Yep.
Leather gear and a wooden or a whatever nylon ring, or just don't wear your rings because yeah.
I just, after I burnt my ring off my finger, it was just glowing red. After that, I never wore a ring again while I was working.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, you can pull that down.
Yeah, every day I'd go to work when I was working a specific spot when I was at Carmax. I used to have to do a lot of torching and welding, cutting, whatever, and I would always take my ring off and put it in my cup holder. My wife got mad at me. I'm like, look, I showed her one picture. Nope.
Yep.
All it takes, that one picture.
Well, I still got the ring, the outline of the ring on my finger, and it's probably 40 years old.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, we actually have a great segue here from the welding stuff we were just showing into other type of clothing. Because there's other jobs you can do where you want to have the proper clothing. You want to have some jobs you want to have those long pants and not the shorts on. And you also got to figure your clothing has to be for set up to cover both winter and summer for hot and cold, and as well as a wet or a dry environment as well. So it depends what you're doing, where you're doing it, when you're doing it.
If you're going to be doing something like insulating or something like that, you're going to want to make sure that you buy that full suit, and have the mask and everything. Yeah. Make sure you have the proper gloves.
And if you're out there working with farm animals, whatever, you're going to want to have some good denim jeans on, good work boots on, possibly even the rubber mud boots. So if you're out there in the slop and everything, and if you're a cowboy, if you're riding a horse out there, you're going to want the right pair of pants on. Yeah, because if you look at the old Western clothing, they had leather patches on the butt to keep their pants from wearing out while they're riding in the saddle.
Yeah, I highly suggest if you are going to do homesteading or a lot of farm animals or anything like that, you get some like lacrosse boots, some like legit good either muck or lacrosse. I have lacrosse snake boots just for multiple purposes because I live in a state with like 7 poisonous or venomous species of snake, and they are definitely worth the $180, $200 price tag. Absolutely.
Well, I don't care what sort of good food you are cooking. I ain't coming back there then. Welding snakes.
Yeah, we got like seven or 8 venomous snakes out here, and I've seen probably about 4 different types on my property. So.
You use a cat crap or the other thing talking about too here. Now we're going to shift a little bit from working to the prepper side, and some of the ones that go in this a little bit too much. They hiding, clothing for hiding. Now, some people immediately think about everybody out there immediately went to camouflage clothes, didn't you?
Camouflage?
I was thinking more along the lines of also gray man clothes for hiding. Unless you're in the woods, you want gray man clothes just to blend in and disappear with everybody else.
It depends on where you are. If you're with Steve, you're gonna have to look like a hipster out in Cali, so you can blend in.
Either you're going to have to look like one of those Beverly Hills,
Please share that for Lori.
Tyler's going to put his invisibility cloak on.
Okay, Harry Potter.
Ron, Hermione. Dave, you said you had something for Lori?
No, I'll just send it to her via Facebook.
All right.
You see my community tab, Tyler? I put my son's ice mansion in there.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different clothing. You just think of all the different type jobs and just think of, what do you want to wear where and what do you not want to wear where. So
Facebook says if you live in California, the guys have to wear dresses. That will make you
that's only in Beverly Hills,
blend in.
in San Francisco, down there
Lori,
in the
I just sent
Castro
out a link to you in
district.
Facebook. Lori was asking what cat crap was, so I sent her a link.
Steve yelled, "I heard that!" Driving.
Well, somebody got a rise out of him.
I had to throw him in the conversation. I knew he was listening, lurking.
Well, so we've covered that. We've covered shoes.
Don't also one thing I wanted to add is don't forget about something as easy and as simple as what type of material your clothing is made of. So when you're looking at like polyester, that kind of stuff, like don't be around a flame. If you're going to be anywhere close to a flame, don't wear polyester because it will literally shrink and suck to your body. That's why we look at
if it does light up, it'll be like
yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be running down the street like a famous comedian.
Yeah, it'll literally light up and then suck right to your skin, and it's going to basically melt onto your skin. So if you're going to be around flame, definitely consider doing something like wool, because especially real wool doesn't want to catch up like that. So just keep in mind, what your clothes are made of. Since everything's made of blends these days, just pay attention to that as well.
Yeah, wool and cotton are probably the two most flame-resistant materials out there. Synthetics and stuff, just unless they're those synthetics that are specifically made for firefighters gear, which I don't think they make any civilian clothes out of that stuff. You don't want to be wearing synthetics if you're working around fire.
Yeah, so if you're working on like aircraft or even if it's around your house and you're doing a lot of burning or whatever, you got to pay attention to what you're wearing because you don't want to have that issue, especially when you don't have any opportunity to get to a hospital or doctor. So small stuff like that can pay attention.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Several years back, the Boy Scouts were trying to go to all synthetic clothing, and a bunch of the adult leaders contacted the head council and told them, "You guys are stupid. You got boys in synthetics trying to learn how to start a fire." Hello? Yeah, so that's when they brought back a lot of the cotton uniform pieces.
Well, I say that because look at a lot of your inserts and warming layers. You wear a jacket. I mean, a lot of that insert is polyester fiber. So, you have to pay attention to like, oh, I got a jacket on, I'm good. And next thing that thing turns into your worst enemy. So just these small things, if you have to, when you're putting them up, just look at, hey, the tag, what's this made out of?
Yeah. Well, probably the best jacket I ever had was one of the most expensive ones I had, sheepskin. Leather on the outside, sheep wool on the inside.
Yeah.
But it was expensive.
Your other
it was comfortable.
Would be make sure that you're dressing for the temperatures that you're in.
Yeah, and there's also when it comes down to wool, the best thing about it is it's also insulating. However, Tyler's right. Some of the wool's not regulated, and a lot of people are allergic to lanolin, which is the I'm allergic to latex, and some people are allergic to lanolin, so they can't wear wool. Some synthetics they're okay with, and merino wool, alpaca, sometimes they can get away with that, but natural wool fiber, not everybody can wear that. So make sure you're paying attention to your family before you stock that away. Make sure they're not allergic to it.
Yeah. Let's see. The next thing I think we need to cover here. Let me get my thing back up here. There it is. Hats.
I have no idea what one of those is.
Oh, also like
No, that's not it.
No, I wasn't saying bring anything up. I was just saying hats. You see us all with baseball caps on, but if you're out in the sun, baseball cap doesn't protect your ears. You need something with a little bit more protection. And if it's wintertime, a nice straw hat is good for the summertime, but wintertime, you want a good beaver felt hat. Protects your ears, keeps the sun off it, keeps the rain and the sun off the back of your neck. But if you're working construction, crud, I forgot to bring my hard hat up here.
It's my personal gear. It keeps my ears warm.
Yeah, I forgot to bring my hard hat up here. I was going to show the hard hat. If you're working, any type of, with any, type of construction, you're building something, you're taking down a tree, you want to have a good hard hat on. In fact, let me scroll back up over here.
Mine's in my truck.
Does yours have the ear protections attached to it?
No, I have that separately.
There's the personal equipment.
When you go on a lot of construction sites, especially nowadays, anytime you get out of your truck, you got to have a hat on. If it's commercial, they will run across the site to knock you down to put a damn hat on because they'll get sued.
Oh, there's places when I drove truck, I'd pull in and it was mandatory. You had to sign out a hard hat the minute you pulled in. You couldn't. It didn't matter what you had. Didn't matter how bad they needed it. You had to have a hard hat on.
Now I feel better.
As well as on the rest of the property.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and throw that up, Will.
Well, a club is not going to protect you much, Lori.
So you got to get a nice hard hat with the screen face shield, not a plastic, a wire mesh screen. You got your hearing protection on it. Here's a different version of it.
Cut down trees.
Yeah, cutting down trees. Yeah, the good ones. Yep. And regular, hang on a second here, get back up here. HARD, hard hats.
I don't have a hard hat anymore.
Hey, they even have a hard hat shaped like a cowboy hat, so you have good brim protection all around. And you have your old fashioned brim hard hat is going to come back because of the protecting the ears.
I wore that silver one there that goes in it, looks like a flying saucer. That's the kind I wore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a super that wore the brimmed hard hat. You could always tell it was him because he's the only one that had it. So he'll be walking around.
Yep, I had one like that. Had stickers all over it.
Mm-hmm. And this is then it came out with the fiberglass hard hats with the wide brim on it because they didn't want the linemen didn't want to get electrocuted. But yeah, I think most of your hard hats are like these other ones here, where they don't have. Let me get a better picture of that one. Come on, it's got to be a bigger volume picture one here. There we go. But it doesn't have any protection over the ears. So when I was working construction, these are the type hats most of them wore, and the guys were just about everybody had a tube of sunblock for their ears. But and one of the guys, and then one of the guys got found one of the cowboy shaped hard hats, and the whole crew started buying them because it gave them better protection.
I have a feeling that would be caught by the wind a lot easier than the other hard hats.
But if you had the cinch thing in the back, holds it on there nice and tight. But yeah. Oh, I just thought of something. The one type of hat that most of the homesteaders out here that might want to have, is this it here? No, that's close. I was thinking about the beekeeper's hat.
Beekeeper hat, yep.
Yep, beekeepers, clothing, glove, everything. If you're doing beekeeping, you need to have special gear for that. You can't use just the normal stuff.
You need those just to be able to go to sleep at nighttime in the South in the summertime.
Hey, or if you're up in Alaska during the summertime, the mosquitoes up there will come pick you up, take you home to their mommy and daddy.
The mosquitoes around here in the summertime, especially if you're camping by a lake. Good Lord.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's. I think we're getting into the next section here, guys. But yeah, these are like at beekeeping respirator systems and stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, you can pull that down.
That means I have to come back where you're at.
Yeah, but we'll get back there in a little bit. Earplugs. You saw in the chainsaw we had the ear muffs on there and stuff. But if there's a lot of different jobs out there. You need to have either earplugs and or ear muffs. At the gun range, you're definitely going to want something at the gun range, either muffs or plugs. But if you're out using a chainsaw, you're going to want muffs and or plugs. If you're using a jackhammer, you're going to want both. Trust me.
If you're working on aircraft, you're going to want both, especially if you got prowlers coming down.
If you're playing with a 50 cal, you
freaking
want
loud. 50's low. It is not as bad as when
you're working around chemicals. You want to make sure you have their proper gas mask.
Yeah, but for earplugs and stuff, I mean, like Dave said, the 50 cal, the Ma Deuce, or the bigger ones, you're going to want a lot of protection. Those things just make one heck of a racket.
It's not necessarily the racket, it's the sonic boom, the shock wave itself that does the damage. It's not the volume, it's the shock wave.
Just keep in mind, a lot of times whenever you're messing with machinery, it's not necessarily the sound of it, but it's the prolonged use that does it. So, while something may not sound very loud, like running a chainsaw or, even cutting your lawn, you do it for longer than an hour, you're killing that hair in your ear. So that's why it's smart. The older you get, I remember, I think we all go through it. The younger you are, it's like, oh, it's not a big deal. But the older you get, the more you realize you got to take care of yourself. So, if you don't have that kind of stuff now.
What'd you say, youngster?
Yeah, I'm deaf in this ear. So that's why all the time whenever y'all talking, I'm doing this in my left ear. So all the time shooting and everything on my right ear and working with a jet. So that's why it's important.
Yeah. It's like, also if you're like a machinist, grinders and stuff like that, they put off a pitch that doesn't seem loud, but after about 5 minutes gives you a headache if you don't have earplugs in. So earplugs, earmuffs, very good to have. The earmuffs have a bonus, because they cover your ear. You can also use them in the wintertime. If you're riding a snowmobile, you want to wear earmuffs.
I never did.
I got tinnitus.
I just drank another beer. Drink another beer. That sound will go away.
I got enough tinnitus and the one, my deaf ear, that's all I hear is tinnitus. And my other good ear, if I'm trying to go to sleep, I have like 2 fans on, I can't sleep.
Yeah.
Tinnitus sucks.
Wayne says you spend enough time around aircraft, you won't need earplugs.
He's not lying. You don't hear nothing no more.
Yeah. Anthony, you're not the only one. Westwind Survival.
Yep.
Tinnitus, problem. That's how I got tinnitus too. I can't hear out of my left ear very good, and my ears ringing from always hammering on that metal and stuff.
Yeah, my wife, when she went into the military, she almost didn't make it in because of the hearing damage she had from going to rock concerts as a teenager.
Well, hey, my cousin's that way. He didn't make it in because his hearing was bad going in, and I think they want that differential because I had pretty good hearing coming in, coming out. I mean, so bad. And Wayne can tell you if you're on the flight deck and they're launching, especially with the catapult, that ain't no joke, man. That's loud. You need double hear protection, and you're still ringing.
Yeah. Well, I think we're into the next one, which is going to bring us to the elephant in the room, which everybody is thinking about.
That's elephants in here.
That's masks. Mask you got, for what we've been talking about, you got your regular dust mask like you're doing, working with wood or whatever, or cement dust or any type of stuff like that. They got more extreme masks for full face respirators for those working with. Those, yeah. If you're working with asbestos, there are masks that are specifically for. Don't move it. The one right there in the. You just lost it. Go back up one. In the second one from the left, with the two canisters on it.
Right here, yeah.
Yeah. Organic vapors. Vapors is something that's a little bit different. That your N95 will not stop vapors. Organic vapors like for pesticides, and everybody knows that famous pesticide Roundup. All the claims about that, and so and then there's fumes. Oh, you got fumes for organic fumes, and you got gases, and I'm not talking tear gas. I'm talking about sulfuric acid gas. Those. The nasty gases and stuff. But then there. What was that?
I was going to say, don't even forget about, like we were talking about earlier, if you're casting metals, when you melt bronze and brass is toxic.
You want a vapor mask for that.
Yeah, it is toxic. You don't want to breathe those fumes in. So something as simple as burning your stuff, wear a mask.
Yeah, and especially if you're welding and there's any galvanized on there, the zinc that comes off the galvanized. Oh, horrible. Man. Yeah, it's horrible.
That one that lady's wearing is an N95.
I've got N99s.
Right here is an N95. Also, you have to think about it. If all hell breaks loose, you're going to have something like this thing right here. There was some sort of chemical or.
Yeah, well, some of the ones up there above are good for that. But if you go to the civilian version here, actually, if you show up mine there, I got the some of these ones here that are really if you pop this one up here.
I'm working on it.
Okay, there we go. All right, so this is a NIOSH certified for all these chemicals, chlorine, I can't remember them all, but you got hydrogen sulfide in there. You got all those nasty gases.
Those are the filters that you add into the mask. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one covers all these chemical agents here, which will also take care of your tear gas, your CN, your CS, your DM, all that type of gases as well. Those things, because those are actually particle type gases. This would even handle mustard gas. But yeah, this the C has for the chlorine, the hydrogen sulfide, the hydrogen.
And so he's showing you those there, and they would actually screw into something like. Oh, I gotta get there. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, here
I would screw into something like this right here.
Actually, no, the one above it. And to the one right above it, and the one to the right.
And this one right here?
Yeah, that one.
I think it would probably screw into that one too.
That takes a different type of threads and takes a big orifice for that one. Those other one takes the small orifices are about this big around, and they just screw on the sides.
So these here, I'm going to bring it back over.
Yeah, see mask right there?
Those are just cartridges, you guys. And
those are cartridges. Here's
screw into the mask themselves.
Yeah, see, here's a half-face mask. The purple is just a HEPA filter. So this has a HEPA filter before it gets to the chemicals in here. And the different coloring on them helps you identify what they're for. But yeah, see, I have a couple of these masks here, and I forget what the green one is. The green one is organic vapors.
P2E brings up a good point.
Good?
You want to make sure you get a fit test for sure.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
No mask is going to do you a darn bit of good if you don't make sure it fits your face.
Right.
Yeah, and also
And-
these things right here, these beards. Want to make sure that if you are doing something, you're keeping that trim. They make masks to go over it, and you can just put Vaseline on it. But
Yeah.
if you're gonna be wearing a mask a lot, shave your damn face.
Yeah. There is a video out there put out by Doc Bones and Nurse Amy. It's on their YouTube channel. So it's Doc Bones, Nurse Amy's thing. He has a 2-part one about masks, talks about the N95 masks, N99, N100. And then the second one's about how to put the different type masks on and how to remove them so you don't contaminate yourself when you're removing them. But as a point to that, all right, your N95 masks are, everyone knows they're touted about for germs and stuff like that. I had a conversation today, and it started last night with Doc Bones on this. The N95 and P95. The difference is N95 is for dry, P is for oily contaminants. So your 95 means it'll stop 95% of the items it's designed for, which is 0.3 microns. But N99 stops 99%, and N100 is supposed to stop 100%. But
So
you're also
there's a
talking
drawback to
very
it as
hard to
well.
breathe, and very, very, very expensive. And Dr. Bones was saying that cost-wise, the difference of cost between an N95 and an N99 for the protection they give, he himself doesn't feel it's worth the added expense. Now, for the elephant in the room, the coronavirus.
Before we jump on that, Gil,
Okay.
that comment right there, the facial hair is not a compatible mask. That's true with most masks. However, in India, since the Sikhs, their religion is they have to have a beard, they've come up with masks that are compatible with facial hair because they're not allowed by their religion to shave. And I know that since they're allowing Sikhs to join the army now, they get issued special gas masks the way they can seal with the beard. So
yeah,
go ahead and throw that on. I just want to put that out there. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, exactly on that. So basically, the size of the coronavirus is 0.12. Now, the N95, N99, N100 are designed to stop anything that is 0.3 microns in size. So basically, the coronavirus is half the size of a little bit less than half the size of what the N95 is supposed to stop. However, in talking with Doc Bones today, he says that that's the size pores, but it still stops the vast majority of it that comes in. And if you're practicing safe OPSEC, if you will, around the stuff, it's stuff's not the coronavirus really isn't airborne like something just floating in the air. What you're getting is spittle, sneeze droplets, stuff like that, and that will stop. Now you're not going to want to wear this mask for 8 hours on end because after a while, stuff will get drawn through it. But for the most part, he says the healthcare workers that they were studying with it wearing N95s, there was a drastic reduction of those catching it as those not wearing the masks.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an illustration. You see this? This is a comparison in size. This right here is the size of a human hair. You see that little spot right there? That's a micron. You're gonna see that? You can't see it. It's tiny, 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 tiny. This is the size of a human hair. That little dot right there, which you can't see, is a micron. Okay?
And this is
Visual over.
0.1, so it's a tenth of a micron.
Exactly.
But like Doc
No,
was saying,
Texas is not. Corona is not airborne.
No, it is not airborne yet.
yeah, it's projected through the air by people sneezing, coughing, and that. But it's not.
Mucous membrane. It's contained inside water. It's an enveloped germ.
Try and
Yeah.
survive and said he didn't see the dot.
That's the whole point. You can't see it.
Yeah. The thing is, though, like he was saying, with all the medical practitioners they had doing studies of wearing N95, not N99, not N100, but N95 masks, there was he said, such a huge reduction in them catching it over those who weren't wearing it, but they were both doing the elevated safety practices. So the N95 made a big difference. Then add on to that, wearing a simple, cheap plastic face shield, practically nobody caught it. Because basically the shield caught it and kept it from getting to the mask. Anything that did go around, the mask caught. So yeah, you don't have to spend the $26 for that, or $28 for that 1 micron mask. I think you had one there, Dave.
Yep, I didn't spend it. I spent $19.
All right. Well, I saw it on Amazon.
The filters are replaceable.
Yeah. Okay. You got the one with replaceable filters. Yeah. And yeah, so those are probably, in our situation here, we really don't have to worry that much about it for this Wuhan coronavirus. Did I put that other thing up here? I got it over on sides thing here. Did you guys want? Will, did you want to show them this or not? That map of the stuff.
You should put it up.
Okay, I got it on the side here. If you want to put it up. All right, so this is the United States of Canada. Most of you are probably not going to be able to see this unless you zoom in on it and have a big computer. Seattle has 1 case confirmed. Fresno has 2 cases. Outside of Phoenix, there's 1 case. Chicago has 1 case. That's it for the United States. Canada has 1 up in Toronto.
And they're working on a second confirmed also. They have a second person in lockdown right now.
Yeah. But there are a bunch in different places where they got people that they've isolated them, they're testing them, and trying to confirm it. Now, Dave, you want to throw this up in the link for this out there in the chat?
I don't have it handy right at the moment.
You don't? Okay, give me a minute here. All right, now we're going to go over to China.
It's in the private chat. If Will wants to copy it, throw it down, or
yeah, I'll throw it over there in a second. Actually, I won't because I got that on the other ones. Yeah. So, Will, if somebody wants to grab it.
What do you want me to do?
Copy the what he has in the private chat, that link, and paste it into the chat, into the public chat. This is what's going on over there in China and Japan and Hanoi and there is Singapore has stuff. So yeah, there is a lot of so Tokyo has 1. Well, I'll show you 1, but it has a dot in Tokyo.
Dave, and I'll put it up.
what's that? Never mind.
Put
I'll
it
get
up there in the chat again, and then I'll put it up.
It's in the private chat.
Okay, Japan has 4 confirmed. Singapore has 5. This website, which we'll get up there shortly,
I'll get it, Earl.
is yeah. And so, like right here now, for the big circle here, has 2,714 confirmed and 100 deaths. There's another one which has 168 confirmed, 1 death. 87 confirmed, 1 death. 66 confirmed, 1 death. 33 confirmed, 1 death. These are all in China, different provinces of China. 33 confirmed, 1 death. 30 confirmed, 1 death. And that's all the ones with deaths. The only deaths have been in China. And like has been pointed out by several other people, medical experts, that those that have died would have died from the regular flu. You know, they're not. Okay.
They are
Hey,
immunocompromised.
Will, you want to drop Corsair's trainer off of there? His comment? Probably have to click on something else and click them off again. You know, do a double click. But yeah, so the number of deaths out here are, you know, less than 100. What was it? So less than 110 deaths so far, only in China, and most of those are those who would have died from regular flu, and possibly, you know, if they caught pneumonia, they would have died as well.
Well,
So they have
older people are more susceptible,
and they have a compromised immune system already. Those are the ones that are dying.
The immunocompromised, and I think an 8-year-old girl died too.
Yeah. And so, you know, the young are also have, you know, their immune system is not fully developed yet.
I heard on TV that the United States was working to get a vaccine put together. It's similar to the SARS virus, but they're going to add to it.
Yeah. Like on Uncle Al was talking about earlier, he's mentioning that somewhere he heard that the virus, that some of these different places, you know, the virus has mutated.
It has.
So yeah, it's going to make an antivirus a little bit harder to make.
Well, I mean, you got to figure things mutate all the time. That's why they can't get the flu vaccine right just for regular flu.
Yeah.
And that's why it's an issue now, because things will mutate. It's just the kind of thing. But obviously, if they have that many cases that are confirmed and only so many have died, and it's almost the same as a general flu, in my opinion. So
yeah,
shouldn't have.
Right, well, here, let me throw a monkey wrench into y'all's plans. What's not being stated is what the people who are in Hong Kong and mainland China are putting out on the web, which is getting taken down within hours of it being posted. Right now, the last nurse that I chatted via a private chat, she said there's 90,000 people infected. Okay, that's far less than what the government, China government's saying. There are a lot more dead than what is being said.
Yeah.
So the numbers that we're seeing is China's way of saying, "Oh, it ain't too bad. Look at us." Something else that you're not hearing here in the U.S.
It's probably their way of telling us to F you.
Okay. Now,
another thing that hold on just a second. Let me finish real quick, and then I'll shut up. Another thing that you're not being told is here in the U.S. there is 70 cases of people under lockdown who are testing semi-positive for the virus. Okay, semi-positive means the initial tests show that they probably have it, and the tests are being sent to the CDC for final verification, just like they've done with every case here in the U.S. so far. There's 70 cases here in the U.S. that they're not reporting on because they don't want to start a mass panic. Because if it suddenly showed up on the news, hey, we've got cases all over the U.S., what's going to happen here in the U.S.? It's going to start a panic. Just like when the Ebola hit Texas, that started a mass panic of people crying about Ebola. Okay,
Yeah.
let's get the true numbers out there, but let's not lose our heads over it either.
Right.
Okay, I'll shut up now.
The other thing to consider on this is the fact that on that website was put out by John Hopkins. All right.
Laurie, there's no reason to panic.
Lori, don't panic. Come on now. If you can handle the normal flu in South Carolina alone, it's what, the 25th or 27th,
Yep.
and we've lost 42 people this year to the flu. We haven't lost anybody to coronavirus. That's what you got to be worried about, is the normal flu. Same principle. So pay attention to your normal stuff that you're actually going to come across. Don't worry about some sort of sensationalism TV right now. It's just making you panic.
Yeah. That's part of it too, is that it is being sensationalized. There's a lot of knuckle dragging Neanderthals out there doing fear porn, trying to get clicks on their site, because they're saying, "Oh, this is the truth about it," and they're spouting stuff they really don't know.
That's why when I put my video out yesterday, I made sure it had accurate facts, and the one video that I did put in from somebody there is the only one that's actually managed to stay circulating. They haven't pulled that one down yet because too many people are re-uploading it.
Yeah. So there's I threw that link back out again. It's it just gives you an idea of what's going on. But there we go. The
Scary.
I got it back up. Yeah, so it's saying only 100
You get to have it up there.
it's saying there's 107 deaths in China. That's where all the deaths are, in China. And it says there are 63 people that have recovered so far from it. Like Dave said, take that with a
grain of salt.
I would say a teaspoon. But it's nothing to go freaking out, running down the street with your hair on fire, yelling, "It's the end of the world! It's the end of the world!"
The only way I'll start panicking is if there's a case in the city where I'm living, then my son will stay home. I will seal this apartment so doggone tight that we have a problem breathing. Until that happens, I'm not worried about it. I've got PPE. I'm good to go. I've got enough stuff for my son. I'm not going to panic or scream bloody murder until there's a case here in Middletown where I live. Then I'll start worrying a lot more. But until then, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I like what Old School Prepper put in there. Keep in mind, 1.25 million U.S. citizens are killed in car accidents each year. And just by stabbings in the U.S. is, like, I think it's 500 for 2017 was 526, if I'm remembering right, from the FBI report. So, that's
die of lung cancer every year, then we have to worry about this virus at the moment.
Yeah.
More people have died from the Black Widow spider bite so far than this virus in the United States. I think we're good.
Yes, the 78% of the people infected with the virus that is confirmed are 55 and older, who have already reduced immune system, or the very, very young who don't have an immune system yet.
Yeah, as long as it's not like the 1918 Spanish flu that attacked like healthy people, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
And don't worry, I will have Dr. Bones Wednesday night on my live stream.
Usually they just have.
What were we saying, Dave?
I said I will have Doc Bones on my live stream Wednesday.
He's coming back again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm trying to get him to come on one of. I'm going to start doing it at 5 o'clock on Saturdays again, and I'm going to try to get him to come over there too.
I'll throw in a good word for you.
All right. I'll be there on Wednesday hunting trolls for you.
I appreciate it. I need somebody to do hunting.
So, but yeah, this is the elephant in the room. It's over in China. We have 5 cases confirmed here in the U.S.
I think it's kind of funny that they always
none in Ohio, none in Kansas, none in the Carolinas, none in Idaho. And there's only one in, let me get back over and look at it where it was again. One in Canada, which was
Toronto, Hooples.
Toronto area.
could be a distraction.
So the only one here that really needs to worry about it are because they got 2 cases, and that's going to be the Californians. So Steve, you better hunker down.
Hunker down, Steve.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I just love poking fun at Steve because I was born in California, so I poke fun at California.
How far away was that helicopter from your place that crashed?
Being the lead is always fun.
Yeah, is. Tibor, I can smash the spider. I can't stop the moron from sneezing in the grocery store.
Steve said it was about 10 miles.
He probably saw the smoke.
Yeah.
He lives up on a hill. Sorta.
Yeah, Corsair says he's winning. They got the lead. I was at home. Can you throw Caton Strains up there, Will, real quick?
How you doing, Dragon? What do you want to see?
Caitlin Strain.
Caitlin?
Yeah. Exactly. Common sense. So, yeah, people practice.
Part of that coronavirus is sort of like a distraction from all the other crap.
Yeah.
Because it's no worse than any of the other flus that actually have gone around.
If you're worried about it, pack some of these with you, or the little keychain.
Make sure you got a bottle of sanitizer.
Yeah.
Keep yourself clean.
Exactly. You go to the grocery store when you come out. Wipe your hands down before you load the groceries in the car. You got little kids with you? Get a bunch of those. Wipe their hands. Yeah, there's the bigger bottle. Yeah.
Wipe guess what? It does actually work. I was just playing with y'all.
Hey, Tyler.
Wipe the kids' hands down all the time. Should be doing that. Should be doing that all the time, anyways. Keep that because that's how the kids bring sicknesses home from school.
Yeah, make sure you throw some bleach at your kids too. That'll help.
And clothing, toss it. A little bit of bleach, little bit. You don't want to ruin the clothes. You want to make sure and run hot water. Crank up the setting on your hot water heater for your washing machine. You want to kill those bugs and stuff.
Got that right. Leave the kids at home.
Just do your general precautions. If you're taking precautions as you normally would for the flu during flu season, same principle applies.
We're in a flu season. Just do what you do always do.
Just be more vigilant about it.
Heck, most grocery stores have the little wipe your cart thing wipes down now right next to it. So use them. Use hand sanitizer. Don't be all up in people's stuff. Stay away from crowded areas. Things you normally would do during flu season.
Buy your respirators and just keep them in the closet at home.
Yeah. Steve
forgot to put on his tin hat this morning. He's losing it. Somebody
Steve,
go find him.
No, that's not the government doing that. That is Governor Newsom trying to kill you.
You don't have any chemtrails there, Steve.
Well, he had some big ones this morning.
Want to know what's really sad? Is I was watching a video, and up by Liverpool, England, or wherever Liverpool is, there was a bunch there, and I decided to start going around finding other people who were putting on live streams at the same time that were outside. I've seen them all the way across
Oh,
Russia,
wow.
Germany.
That's right. I missed the damn meeting this morning, didn't I?
Yeah. Speaking of Germany, Germany has hang on, drag it down here.
Trudeau. Oh, we got a Trudeau lover in here.
All right.
No,
France
she don't.
has
Don't
three.
insult her.
France
She don't like
France has 3 cases, and I'm trying to find Germany. Germany has a dot. I can't find it. Let me go up here. Arizona 1, Illinois, Washington. Whoa. Oh wait, hang on. We just had a 6th one for the U.S. No, wait, that's not Washington D.C. That's why that's Seattle. Never mind. California, France, Japan.
In Washington D.C. Awesome. I mean,
No, it's Washington, Seattle, Washington. Huh. I know it shows Germany on the
figured they
map,
would,
but I
Lori.
can't find it. I can't find Germany on the side chat here.
Lori just confirmed that the CDC up in Canada has just confirmed their 2nd case.
Second
Which
case.
Lori and I were talking about that earlier today.
Okay. Yeah, it's not saying how many is in Germany, but Germany has a red dot. So Germany is being trying to think. Vietnam has 2, California 2. Oh, New South Wales, Australia has 4. South Korea has 4. Japan has 4.
Lori's out of conspiracy. Is that right, Steve?
Yeah. The thing here shows that Germany has some, but nothing. They're not putting what the number is there for Germany.
You're always innocent, Lori.
I found it. It's Bavaria in Germany.
Bavaria, Germany. Yeah, 1. Okay. But so England, Ireland 0, Norway 0, Poland 0, Prague 0, Italy 0, Spain 0. Yeah. Austria 0, Switzerland 0, Belgium.
What about Luxembourg?
0, Luxembourg 0.
Better be 0.
Are you going there?
No, that's where the Walmart headquarters is, so they don't pay taxes.
But yeah, so yeah. So the total for all of the European Union there is 4. And so, Lori, where was that 2nd case at?
Toronto.
This looks like Zika and Ebola and whatever 3.0, just trying to make y'all stirred up and crazy.
Yeah, this hasn't been updated yet. Here it still says just 1 for Ontario. But yeah, so I mean, it's you look at those numbers and it's nothing for for the U.S.
But that's if the numbers we're being told are correct.
Yeah, well, yeah. With numbers that low, I don't think they're going to, the U.S. is going to squash the numbers.
It's not the U.S. doing it. It's China.
Well, I know, but China, but I'm talking about in the U.S. and Canada, the numbers here are really low.
They'll squash it too to prevent mass panic.
Yeah.
It's just like, the doomsday scenario of an asteroid coming to the Earth. If it's not visible to main people, average person with a telescope, they ain't saying crap about it because they don't want to start a mass panic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way the government is. I mean, you've seen the scenario plans. You know what they're talking about. I'm not going to tell us, the GP, until it's too late.
Yeah, Tibor, the flu goes worldwide every year because everyone travels worldwide every year. It's not a regional flu; it's worldwide flu, and that's why one of the reasons why it does mutate so much is because you got all the strains going back and forth, and mixing and do whatever viruses do when they meet each other.
Prestige worldwide, wide.
We share everything worldwide, wide.
Yeah. It already did the open borders thanks to Barry.
Didn't they try doing this with measles last year?
And
They tried
bronchitis
freaking
back in
everybody.
2018.
Do a big measles outbreak. I remember that.
Yeah, they tried doing this last year with measles, try to get everybody all worked up and freaked out, and now they're doing it again.
Oh,
like I
okay.
said, in
Lori,
2018, they did the whole bronchitis scare. There was over 9,100 and some odd deaths from bronchitis back in 2018.
Yeah.
Lori said that the guy in Toronto, now it's his wife came down with it. Gee, big surprise there. He was probably contagious. Gave her a kiss as you went off to work one day. Now she has it. It takes 2 to 14 days to incubate.
Well, here's the story on the gentleman in Toronto. Gentleman in Toronto got off, felt ill on the airplane, didn't say nothing, got off the airplane, they checked him, he seemed okay. He went home, started feeling real bad, called 911, their version of 911, and told him what was going on. They took him immediately and they told his wife to quarantine herself. Well, now she's sick.
Yeah.
So in that little itty bitty time that he was home, he spread it. So that's why they're telling everybody to pay attention to who you're around. PPE.
Yeah, but there's always 4 or 5 cases of the bubonic plague out west. It's like in the wild animals out there, like
Yeah,
either New
Legionnaires'
Mexico.
disease in the major cities.
Yeah, but I mean, like New Mexico and Colorado and Utah, the desert area has like animals that have natural bubonic plague. So.
And it's out in the prairie lands too, with all the the groundhogs and stuff.
Yeah, they carry it.
Yeah, so it's I mean that's where actually is the biggest was with the ground squirrels out there in the prairie lands.
Yeah.
Because up in the mountains it freezes enough so it wipes it out, but
every year they try bringing some scary name up out of the blue. I think it was 2016 or 2017. They had the huge Legionnaire scare up in New York and Boston because of the water reclaimers at the top of the HVAC units weren't doing their job properly and the water was getting stagnant in there, and that's what caused it. That didn't scare everybody. So in 2017, Ebola made a huge uprising. Well, we didn't get too scared about it back then. Last year is, I remember what it was last year.
Yeah.
Because I don't get scared of it knocking on my door.
Yep.
Cat in it.
So, what do we got out there? We got 15 watching now. Yeah, so it's not all doom and gloom. And if you don't believe us, go check out Doom and Bloom.
Doom and Bloom.
Yeah, Doom and Bloom is Doc Bones and Nurse Amy's website, doomandbloom.net.
Here's a map I found. See if I can get that one up there. That's where it's all at.
Yeah. But Taiwan has a lot of trade. Hong Kong, they only got 1, 2. Macau has 1. Thailand has 4 cases, probably. This is just me. I would say probably everybody knows each other. Like a family case there.
Right, Tibor. There's no sense in getting worked up about it until we have it knocking on our own personal doors.
Yep.
Just have the equipment ready. Just do your due diligence. Make sure you got the stuff you need, and be ready for it if it does.
Yep. So
if it don't, and you've got the equipment, you're better off than you were to begin with.
Yeah.
Let those 600 cases stay over there.
Yeah, and, of course, that data is a little bit out of date because you said 600 cases. This other one has it as 4,474 cases.
Yeah. Well, that might just be for that continent.
Yeah, well,
Just
that's
keep in mind-
that's 4,409 of those is mainland China.
Just keep in mind the ones that are freaking you out about this, that are doing the fear porn, are the ones that were also trying to freak you out about the Virginia gun rally and
Yeah.
everything else before that, everything to try to stir you up because I know people are addicted to that adrenaline rush from fear. So just recognize it, and you're
That
good.
fear porn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and then what's interesting. The only thing I found interesting, and now let me go. Where's my? I don't have my silver hat here. My foil hat to put on. The one place in China that has a level 4 biohazard facility
Hubei.
is Wuhan.
Yep, it's in the Hubei district, Wuhan.
Yeah. And where's the largest outbreak at?
Wuhan.
Was that an accidental release of someone not following their safety practices while they were working on whatever they were working on in that lab?
Probably.
Yeah.
They don't have very good practices over there.
Yeah. Well, actually, their labs have very good practices. I'm just saying if somebody was lazy, and there's a possibility they didn't scrub down properly, completely like they supposed to do, and one person had an oops. And that's all it takes. That's all it would take from a facility like that to get it out.
I have a year's worth, Tyler. If not, I'm sure I could find a Sears catalog.
Well, I got hundreds of magazines of This Old House and Mother Earth News I can use.
Yeah, if you got a big supply of magazines, you got a crud load.
I also grow corn in the summertime, so I'll never run out of corn cobs.
You're right. Occam's razor does say that. Every few years, something comes out of China that just makes everybody go into mass hysteria.
Yep.
H1N1, SARS, swine flu,
bird flu.
They all come up out of China.
It always comes out of the same place, yep.
And it's because of the markets they have there. They're open air markets where they've got dead animals hanging on hooks next to live animals. They eat bats over there. And the original theory was that somebody had some live bats and the guano got mixed, dropped on some chickens, and the chickens then got eaten by humans, and now humans have the disease. We don't know. We're not there, and they haven't figured it out yet.
Well, you also have to consider the fact that China had just had to wipe out their entire pig population because of swine flu. And that's why they're importing American pork right now, because they can't control their own pork.
Hey, Tyler, I'm not doing that because I might need my magazines to read when the shit hits the fan and we all have to hunker down. I might need to read if I ain't got internet.
Okay, Wayne's being proud here of his clickbait. He did a clickbait, spent $3 on a Corona.
I haven't watched it yet. Don't ruin it for me.
Now, problem is some people are saying out there that certain citrus is supposed to help with this, like lime. Problem is, you put lime with the coronavirus, then you have Lyme disease. Okay, that one bombed. Not a smile out anyone.
Sorry,
I had to put it together. I was busy thinking about the song "Lime and a Coconut." I was about the pork, because I mean it's true. They're a big pork eating culture, and
Oh yeah.
it was horrifyingly, destroying all their stuff.
Tyler, no, I'm not going to argue that one, Tyler.
No, we don't use handfuls of rocks. We use hand-me-down toilet paper from the army. Get it right.
A good old oak leaf works good if you're out in the woods.
Just make sure it's not poison oak leaf.
Poison oak, oh man.
Yeah.
Steve's got a valid point there, guys.
Yeah, you only poop once a month, especially when you eat crayons.
Hey, we got to add a little extra fiber to that damn MRE now. Come on.
Yeah, them crayons were supposed to be the fiber, but they don't work as well as advertised. Especially when we eat glue.
Hey, I had fun eating paste when I was a kid.
Okay, everybody in the chat, when they were a little kid, how many of you ate dirt at least once?
You're supposed to. That's the point of being a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
I ate rocks.
That's like, I think it's in human nature that kids are all supposed to put their hand in their mouth so they get their immune systems built. It's like part of your DNA. You're designed to do that.
Yep. Yeah, Laura, you've been doing a bunch of those MRE reviews. You got a ton of that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I sure did, Wayne. Especially when them sandstorms kicked up. You can't help it.
Yeah, Kaylin's probably got a closet full of rear end wipes.
Yeah. Or guys, just head down to Sam's Club or Costco and get the store brand Mega Jumbo rolls. A couple of those packages will last you a year.
They have out now. That new idea they have out now, they have those little pucks like that. You can get like 24 of them in a little bag.
Hey, Lori, you're not going to get the girls to play in the mud unless you show them how to do it. You got to get in there and get dirty.
You just get them wet and they go poof, and they're like 1 foot squares. A lot easier than trying to stack them up in the closet.
It will?
Yes, sir. Want me to
Take a look at that.
Yeah.
Or you can just get the Charmin one roll a month. Get 12 rolls. You're covered for a year. They actually have those giant rolls and a little stand that you use, and it's out by Charmin.
Yeah, I think Old School Prepper did a video on that.
Yeah. The only problem here is that the 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and 1-year-old would be grabbing it and running through the house. But
don't even worry about that. Just get a bidet hooked up, and boom, you're called a day.
Yeah.
There, I found them. I found the pucks.
Okay.
See if I can get them up there.
I am in a space rocket.
Canadian prepper, the big star that he is that little video he put out on them toilet paper parks.
They're right there. They're little bitty round discs. I get them up there. There they are. They're right here where this little blue box is. They're little round discs. All you do is get them wet. $34.95, and you get, how many you get? 540 or something like that.
Yeah, 500 bulk pack.
500 bulk pack.
Toilet coin tissues.
Coin tissues, yep. They're used to be called pucks, but they changed the name of them, I guess.
Oh, they go by different names.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just buy them by the bag. That sure beats stacking them up in the closet. There's one for $17.50. How many you getting that one? 12 by 12, 100% cotton white,
15 pack.
15 pack.
Well, where is it here?
A whole lot better than stacking those big ass rolls up.
You don't have to stack them up. Make a little vacuum sealer like I did out of an air conditioner pump.
Yeah.
Wash them down, stick them inside a vacuum seal bag, and suck the air out of them.
Now, there you go. Baby wipes.
No, these aren't baby wipes. These are adult wipes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those are my showers on when I was out in the field.
Lori says, "Don't eat them. They aren't mints."
But they look like it.
I see someone going all of a sudden it goes poof.
Yeah, you should just drop one of those in a bottle of Diet Pepsi.
Hey, there's the new challenge for YouTube. Grab one, pretend you put it in your mouth, drink a bottle of Coke, and watch all them yuppie, stupid, idiot, knuckle dragging buffoons do it themselves and kill themselves off.
Wait for it to multiply in their stomach.
It'll swell up in their throat and choke them. Then we'd have a few less knuckle dragging buffoons out there.
Either that or just pop real quick in their mouth and break their neck.
Yeah, guys, I think we better break it off.
Sounds good.
So I think we covered all the personal protective equipment for anything and everything, just about.
Some stuff we didn't need to talk about.
Yeah.
Any more questions from the side chat?
Don't look like it. Looks like people are starting to go to bed.
Starting to break off. Yep.
Night, kids.
Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night, everybody.
We'll see you guys next week. We'll have a new topic for you guys. Adios. Thanks for coming by.